Hi guys, my name is Michael. Welcome back. So in this video, I'd like to bring a couple of things to your attention. As you guys know, there's so many things going on in the crypto space. A lot of things are happening, and it's so important for us to sort of wrap our head around the changes, around the new technologies, and just all the information that is coming out in the crypto space, right? Especially when it has to do with some of the projects that we talk about and we're invested in, like projects like XRP, which is what I'm going to be talking about today. As you guys know, XRP is a revolutionary technology in the blockchain space. XRP is managed by a company called Ripple, right? And it's so important for us to separate those two things together. XRP is the technology, and Ripple is the company that created XRP and manages the XRP blockchain. So it's important for us to understand those two things. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I think about 2 weeks ago, it came out that Ripple, the company that manages XRP, was trying to buy Circle, right? Circle is the company that issues the stablecoin called USDC. As you guys know, USDC is the only regulated stablecoin, right? It's not the most popular, right? You've got USDT Theta, which is the biggest and the most popular, right? But USDC is the only regulated stablecoin, right? And as I've told you guys in previous video, I believe that USDC is now being positioned as the official stablecoin for US businesses, right? And that is why when you see a lot of companies coming out with stablecoin integration, they are all talking about USDC. I showed you guys with MasterCard, Visa, MoneyGram. Everyone is going to be using USDC for settlements behind the scenes. And if you go across the board, all the new integrations, all the new crypto integrations are all talking about USDC. So USDC is gaining massive traction. As a matter of fact, the new bills in the bills that are going to be passed in the US Congress, some of them have Circle mentioned by name. USDC are in those bills, right? So that is how much adoption USDC is getting right now. So USDC is a big deal at the moment, and by extension, the company Circle is a big deal at the moment. So when we saw that, when we heard this news that Ripple was trying to buy USDC, a lot of people were wondering, why would Ripple try to buy USDC? Remember, Ripple as a company is also a stablecoin issuer, right? Ripple has the stablecoin called RLUSD, right? Circle is a stablecoin issuer, right? They have their stablecoin called USDC. Why will a stablecoin issuer want to buy another stablecoin issuer? Some people might say yes, because Circle is USDC is bigger than RLUSD. That's why Ripple want to buy it. But when we dig further, we see that Circle is onto something, right? Circle is trying to do something that might affect the entire Ripple business model and everything we know about Ripple as a company, and what we've been talking about, the fact that XRP will do in the global financial space. Circle is threatening that model at the moment, and I'm going to show you a couple of things here. So like I said, if you take a look at the date of this article, on the 30th of April, it came out that Ripple had put a bid for Circle for 5 billion that was rejected. And I think I saw a number of articles saying that Ripple was ready to go as high as even 20 billion to purchase Circle. And you guys can, if you guys remember, I also talked about this, that Circle is on its way to the IPO, right? Circle has filed for an IPO. That means they are going to be listed on the stock market very soon. So Ripple wants to buy Circle, right? And it's important for us to understand that, this was not just an ordinary move by Ripple. Because if you take a look at it here, so like I said, this news came out on the 30th of April. But if you go back a couple of days before we saw this news about Ripple putting in the bid, you will see that on the 21st of April, that's 7 days before we heard of the bid by Ripple for Circle, this news came out that Circle was launching a new payment network, a new cross-border payment network called CPN, basically the Circle payment network, right? And when you dig into this Circle payment network, it is basically going to do everything that XRP and Ripple have been touting for years that they're going to do, right? So let's just take a look at this, and you see why this Circle's new network is sort of a threat to Ripple. And I don't know if it's a threat to XRP yet, but at least it is a threat to Ripple's business model and everything that Ripple has been talking about that they're going to do using the XRP technology or the XRP ledger. So it says here, Circle to launch stablecoin powered cross-border payments network in May. So this news came out on the 21st of April. Now, if you go back to the Bloomberg report, you will see that on the 30th of April, Ripple put in a bid for Circle. The news came out that Ripple had put in a bid. Remember, the information that Circle is going to launch a new payment network came out on the 21st of April. And on the 30th of April, we're seeing Ripple put in a bid to buy Circle. And it's going to be clearer, as we go further. So let's take a look at this information. So it says here that Circle to launch stablecoin powered cross-border payments network. Take a note of that word, cross-border. Every time we talk about XRP, every time we hear, YouTubers, everyone is talking about XRP. What is that word they always talk about? Cross-border payments, cross-border, right? And so you see here that Circle is launching something similar. So let's take a look here. It says here that CPN, which is a Circle payment network. Okay, let me just start from here. It said the Circle payment network, CPN, will connect financial institutions. Remember, XRP, what we've always heard about XRP. XRP is going to connect financial institutions, blah, blah, blah. The same thing here. CPN will connect financial institutions and enable real-time settlement of cross-border payments using USDC and URC, which is a euro stablecoin as well, issued by the same company, Circle. Remember these keywords: financial institutions, real-time settlement of cross-border payments. Those are some of the things that we'll be hearing about XRP. We'll be hearing that XRP is going to do in the future. XRP is going to XRP is going to allow companies to settle, to have cross-border settlements, blah, blah, blah. So these are the same keywords that Circle is using to describe its own payment network that it has created. All right, so CPN will connect financial institutions and enable real-time settlement of cross-border payments using USDC and EURC and other regulated stablecoins, the company said in a Monday press release. CPN will enable connectivity to domestic real-time payment systems worldwide and is expected to power use cases like supplier payments, remittances, payroll, capital market settlements, internal treasury operations, and on-chain financial applications, according to the release, blah, blah, blah. So we are seeing here that Circle is creating something similar to what Ripple has been trying to do here, right? Even if it's not the same as what Ripple is doing, but you can see that this is a very disruptive technology in the cross-border payments sector. Because by Circle implementing this new thing, and remember, Circle has traction. That is something that Ripple doesn't, RLUSD currently doesn't have. Circle has traction. And you cannot underestimate the company Circle and that product USDC, because they have got traction at the moment, right? So they've got traction and everyone is talking about USDC for settlement. So by creating this network right now, I believe that Circle is a threat to Ripple. Do you get? And we're going to take a look further into this network, into what this network will do. Let's go into Circle. Let's go to Circle now and hear from the horse's mouth what this network is going to do. So when you come to Circle now, and this is the Circle website, you can see here that the Circle Payments Network, a new standard for global money movement, right? And these are some of the things you hear when we hear the Ripple guys talking about the internet of value, blah, 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 moving value across borders, blah, 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 and everything. So Circle is creating something similar. So Circle Payments Network, CPN, connects financial institutions to orchestrate global money movement powered by stablecoins. Remember, in the XRP side with Ripple, they are doing the same thing, but it is powered by the XRP ledger and XRP. But here we see Circle doing the same thing, but powered by stablecoins, right? So it's almost the same thing that Ripple is trying to offer, but Ripple is using XRP, and then we see Circle using their own product called USDC. And remember, Circle has traction. It's so important for us to understand that. Okay, let's go into the white paper of this particular product. Let's take a look at what this product is all about. So this is the Circle Payments Network white paper, and you can download it from the Circle website if you want to know more about what this CPN network will do. And you can see that they already have partners for this. You've got Deutsche Bank, you've got Santander, Societe Generale, and Standard Chartered, and plus existing Circle USDC customers, who will be plugged directly into this once it goes live. All right, let's look at the white paper. So you can see here that, let me just go here. I marked a couple of things here. Circle Payments Network brings financial institutions together in a compliant. Remember, Circle is the only regulated stablecoin at the moment, right? So compliance is very important for people that want to connect to this network. And also, we know that once the SEC case is done with Ripple, with XRP, there will be some sort of compliance with XRP and Ripple as well. But for now, let's just look at what Circle is doing. Circle Payments Network brings financial institutions together in a compliant, seamless, and programmable framework to orchestrate global payments in fiat, USDC, and other payment stablecoins. Let me just go down to the platform. I just want to show you a couple of things so that you can see how similar their value and their offering is to what Ripple is offering. So this is what the network is going to look like. And if you take a look here, if I just bring it down a little bit, you can see here on the left-hand side, this is what the institutional players will be able to do on the network. You can see they can do forex settlements, basically, settling in different currencies, foreign settlement, treasury services, government payouts, capital markets, DeFi. And basically, they've got every angle covered. We have business payments here, payroll, salary, trade finance. So if you're a company that has workers across the globe, you can use this network to pay everyone in USDC, across the globe. Trade finance, supplier payments, retail payments, blah, blah, blah. And you can see on the consumer side, they've got remittances, e-commerce, subscription. And one way or the other, we've talked about a few companies that are going to be implementing USDC, MasterCard, Visa, Stripe as well is going to be implemented. Stripe got, and I'm going to talk about this in a different video. Stripe is launching something called crypto to payments or something like that, a new feature. Also behind the scenes, it's going to be using USDC for settlements. So USDC has got traction. Do you get? They've got traction. So them implementing this thing right now is a big deal. It's a threat to Ripple's business model, right? Because of the traction they've got with that product called USDC. It's a big deal. So it's important for us to pay attention to these things. So let's look at some of the use cases of CPN, because they listed it down here that, how this network can be used by people. And so if you go here, it says CPN is designed to support a wide range of payments and value exchange. Remember, that word again, value exchange use cases. Remember Ripple, David Schwartz, if you follow Ripple a lot, they always talk about this internet of value. Ripple is going to create, XRP is going to create this sort of internet of value where you can move value across border and everything. And we can see here that Circle is actually using the same product language that Ripple uses for their product in this particular product. So you can see that in a way they understand that this product is going to compete with XRP. Do you get? Or it's going to compete with Ripple at some point. Do you get? Because the language that they're using for this, the marketing language, is similar to what Ripple uses in their own brochures as well. So it says here, end-to-end cross-border payment settlement with CPN. Sender sends the money to an OFI, which is an originating financial institution. Then the Circle network connects the OFI to the BFI and then back to the receiver. And this is a similar thing that we see with XRP. Remember, when you look at the XRP breakdown, right, the sender is going to send the money. That money is transformed into XRP. XRP goes to the receiver in XRP and then back again to the local currency. So the CPN platform will do similar as well, but they just call it a different name. So the sender is going to pass the money to the OFI, and the OFI will pass the money USDC to the BFI, and then the BFI will convert it to the local currency and give it to the receiver. So similar technology to XRP, but this time by Circle using USDC. So it's so important to understand this. All right, let's go down, and you can see some of the use cases here. Supplier use cases, trade finance, retail, AI payments, remittances, subscriptions, so many things that this network is going to bring into perspective, right? So this is a very big, Circle is one company that we need to watch out for. This company is going to disrupt a lot of models, a lot of business models, especially from those players that we've always come to know in the crypto space. And it's all because of the traction of that product, USDC. That product is gaining so much traction that Circle has the opportunity to pivot into any industry, right? Remember, a lot of people don't understand this. It doesn't matter how you start, right? When you have traction, you can snatch anybody's cake. You can snatch anybody's lunch money. Do you get, because of your traction? So right now, Circle has a lot of traction with their product called USDC. So that is giving them the opportunity to basically go into any market and disrupt it. And their first target seems to be XRP, Ripple. And that is why we see that Ripple was pushing to buy Circle, because Circle is actually now positioning as a competitor to Ripple in this cross-border settlement space. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's so important for us to understand this. And like I said, the company Circle has so much traction. Remember, they are on their way to a listing on the stock market. The moment Circle goes live on the stock market, a lot of money is going to come into Circle. They are going to have dry powder. They're going to have a liquidity to build out this product to a very, to a very good product, right? They're going to have a lot of money. A lot of investors are going to pour in the moment they get listed on the stock market. BlackRock, all these companies, ARK Invest, all these companies are going to pour money into Circle, right? And so Circle is going to have liquidity to go head to head with any company they want to go they want to compete with. So it's so important that we pay attention to the company Circle. That company is one of the hottest cake in the crypto space at the moment because of that product called USDC. And I told you guys in the previous video that I believe that in the next couple of months, we are going to see USDC gradually eat out of USDC's market size, right? So USDC is going to gradually eat out of USDT, because all the American companies that are having integrations with crypto, all the Western companies that are going to be doing any crypto related payment, solution, are all going to be using USDC. None of them, if you look at any of the brochures, none of them are talking about USDT. None of them are talking about Theta. They are all talking about USDC. So USDC is only going to grow in adoption. And if you take a look at some of the bills in the Congress, most of the bills in the Congress are actually going to favor the American stablecoins like USDC, right? If you take a look at this state, it said US stablecoin bill will rein in Theta and boost Coinbase and Circle, right? So they are going to create laws that are going to make it very difficult for USDT to operate, right? But giving privilege to companies like Circle and Coinbase, right? Even though Coinbase at the moment is not really a stablecoin issuer, but a company like Circle is going to be is going to get a boost from all these crypto laws that are coming out of the United States. So Circle is a company to watch out for. It's a company to watch out. It can disrupt any model at the moment because they've got a hot ticket called USDC. And that's my take on this whole thing, right? So it's important for us to keep an eye on what is going on. Don't just think that, everyone is just going to sit down and allow XRP to just come in and replace Swift. There are so many companies that want to replace Swift at the moment. Even Circle at the moment is vying to replace Swift, because when you see what the CPN is going to do, right, that is also going to take out from Swift, right? And stable coins at the moment is the hot area of crypto. Stablecoin is a very hot area of crypto at the moment. So let's keep an eye out on Circle and USDC. And also, please don't be biased about this. I know a lot of people love XRP. I've talked about XRP a lot on this channel. As you guys know, I think it's a very good technology. But when we're doing things like this, you have to look at the information that is presented to you, and you have to follow things as they are changing. Don't just be biased. Don't just be stuck in your ways and say, this one and everything. You can add understanding to your wisdom, to your beliefs, and make your conviction stronger, right? So I'm just bringing this information to you guys. Don't go after me and start saying, oh, XRP, blah. It's just an information, and you guys can see I've listed the sources out there. You can go check it out for yourself. You can go to the Circle website and see what Circle is trying to do. You can go on Bloomberg and see what the information is. Anyway, guys, this has been a very long video, but I just thought I'd explain to you the challenges that XRP and Ripple, are facing. And these challenges might have been caused by the SEC lawsuit against Ripple, because what that lawsuit did was to pause Ripple, right, for all these other companies to sort of catch up with Ripple, right? And I'm going to talk about how the SEC lawsuit affected XRP, right, and Ripple, right? Because what it has done really, it sort of held Ripple in a freeze mode and allowed all these companies to catch up on technology with XRP. Remember, XRP was created way back in 2012, right? So if not for the Ripple SEC lawsuit, XRP would have done a lot of brilliant things by now. But that lawsuit sort of put XRP and Ripple on pause and allowed all these companies to catch up, right? To catch up. And that's another angle. That's another way to look at it. It allowed all these companies to catch up to Ripple and XRP, and that is why we are seeing this competition from USDC Circle. But I'm going to talk about how Ripple and XRP are going to get the edge above Circle and USDC in a different video. But for now, let's just understand that Ripple has a big problem on their hands. How they're going to solve it, we're going to see as we go further. But they do have a major problem, and that problem is USDC. Anyway, guys, if you like videos like this, please like, subscribe. I'm looking forward to your comments on this particular topic. If you've got more information or insights that you'd like to share with me or bring to my attention, please do put it in the comments. But anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.